Shalom, shalom. Giving honor and praise unto the Creator and Maker of heaven and earth. This particular speech slash lesson that we're seeing is due to the fact that many Israelites have said, "My Yah, I know my Yah." Now, of course, we know and understand what we're saying in spirit. Of course, we know what we're saying in understanding. However, when we're speaking the language of our ancestors, brothers and sisters, we want to be grammatically correct in what we're saying. The Hebrew in which we're presenting and what we're talking about mainly comes out of the Tanakh. That is to say, mainly out of the Hebrew scriptures. In the Hebrew scriptures, brothers and sisters, there are rules that go along with the language. So, without further ado, let's go, brothers and sisters, in this particular presentation right here. Shalom, a teaching of importance. Shalom. This is a presentation on whether we should say MY YAH or not. Next slide. The aspect of my in definition, of or relating to me or myself, especially as possessor, agent, object of an action, or familiar person. We cannot grammatically say MY YAH, since Yah in meaning is in reference to the Most High, and we cannot say his Yah or her Yah. Let us look, brothers and sisters, back at the left-hand side. When it says the definition for the word my, it says what? All right. Of or relating to me or myself, especially as possessor. Now, one of the things we want to point out, if you're the possessor of it, you own it, it has become yours. All right. So with that being the case, we know good and well, once it comes down to the ineffable name of the Most High, once it comes down to the position of the Most High, we do not own it. All right? Yah is a name. One cannot correctly in grammar say, my Moses, my Aaron, so we know we cannot say my Yah. Now, as stated, of course, when we say that as Israelites in songs and other words, all right, my Yah is strong. We know what we're saying is not disrespect in spirit to the Most High. However, what we want to point out in the Hebrew language, in the grammar of the Hebrew language, and what we're talking about is the fact of what the Hebrew scriptures relate to us. You will not see where it says MY YAH in the Hebrew. You cannot say that in Hebrew grammatically. That's what we want to point out. All right. Next slide. To show personalization. To show personalization in Hebrew, in the first person my, the suffix yod is shown, as in the red here. This is when showing a masculine noun in first person possession. Now, when I go over the aspect of saying first person possession, that means my. Second person possession will be yours. Third person possession would be his or hers. All right. So this is what we want to point out in that particular regard. Now, what you're looking at there, where the red is there, right? That, brothers and sisters, just goes to show exactly the aspect of showing it in possession. Yadi. The word we see there is yadi, which means my hand. Now, let's look at the right-hand side. Yad. The word we see here is yad. Sometimes some people spell it Y-A-D or Y-A-H-D. The word means hand. And under that, we see this, yadi. The word we see here is yadi. The word means my hand. So this is what, brothers and sisters, we want to point out in that particular regard. You can show a masculine noun, all right, as in yad, as in kod meaning a pitcher like that you drink from, as in sefer, meaning book. The Hebrew word for my book is sifri. The Hebrew word for my hand, all right, is yadi. So this is what we want to point out in that particular regard. You're not going to be able, brothers and sisters, to then sit there and show where Yah is shown as my Yah in Hebrew. Next slide. The left-hand side, El. The word we see there is El, and it means might, power, or strength, and is translated also as judge or ruler. The common translation of El is God. Now, under that, we see this. The word we see there is Eli, and it means my God. Now, brothers and sisters, what do we want to point out in that particular regard is this. Eli, you see that in the book of Psalms, chapter 22, as in other parts. El, you see that in the book of Numbers, as in other parts. Now, let's look at the right-hand side. The above says Yah. One cannot say Yahi, as if one is showing possession of Yah. Thus, one cannot say my Yah grammatically correct. Now, as stated, we know when we have some songs and do sing songs, and we hear it sing and we do sing my Yah, we know we're talking about the Most High. We know that we're talking about the one who created the heavens and the earth. You understand? What I'm pointing out in this particular presentation is that in Hebrew grammar, you're not going to be able to correctly say Yahi. You see how you see El, meaning God, and Eli means my God? You cannot say Yah is the Most High, and Yahi means something of that nature. That's what we want to point out grammatically in this particular case. All right? Next slide. My L is not incorrect. In the previous slide, we showed that God said as El, which is not a proper name, can be shown in possession in the first person of my El, meaning my God, Eli. The same cannot be said for Yah. Yah cannot be shown as my Yah, his Yah, grammatically correct in Hebrew. I can show in the scriptures, and it's not to be saying me, MY YAH. You understand? But it can be shown in the scriptures where one can show his God, Elohim. One can show his book, Sifro. But you will not be able to show, brothers and sisters, knowing the E suffix in that particular case shows it to be a possessive of the first person, and O as a suffix shows to be the third person possession, as in Yad meaning hand, Yado means his hand. You're not going to be able to show Yahoo as that particular case. You're not going to be able to show, brothers and sisters, Yahi as in that particular case. So therefore, in grammar, brothers and sisters, we want to point out that one cannot say Yahi. Therefore, one cannot say my Yah. We can say Eli, and we can say, and even in English, my God. With that, I say shalom. Giving honor and praise to the creator and the maker of heaven and earth. Shalom.